Hi, I'm Mike Tromans. We're going to talk to you today about being fast and flexible at Toyota.
Hi, I'm Tim Buschur. I also work in production engineering. And before we jump into our story, let's watch this video and see what production engineering does for Toyota.
Production engineering, a division that embodies creativity and ingenuity, with a gear that represents the driving force of innovation within each of our manufacturing processes. The surrounding circles represent the priorities we challenge ourselves to achieve through internal and customer collaboration. PE defines our identity, the passion of our people, their drive for success, and our PE unique attitude. In PE, we don't design the cars and we don't build the cars, but we design and build the assembly lines, machines, and factories that do. We are the bridge between research and development and manufacturing. With 1,200 team members spread across North America, we lead new model introduction to all 14 of our manufacturing sites across our region, retooling the assembly lines for production. We execute new model introduction projects through a structured job flow during pre-production preparation. Beginning with simultaneous engineering, PE partners with vehicle styling and R&D to ensure the safety and feasibility of mass producing a new vehicle with sustainable quality and competitive cost. We then proceed to process planning, where we combine digital information from the factory floor with new vehicle design data to determine what new equipment is needed, what can be reused, and what requires modification. With a clear process plan, we then progress to the equipment procurement phase, partnering with various suppliers to design and build the required equipment for production. Our work then moves to the manufacturing floor, where we prepare the site for equipment installation. Working closely with third-party installers, production engineering manages this from start to finish, adhering to strict safety guidelines. Line trials are next. We partner with our manufacturing counterparts to execute multiple trial cycles of the equipment and process to confirm safety, quality, and productivity. Finally, we reach new model launch. Supporting manufacturing, we focus on surfacing new problems that may emerge during high-volume production. In addition to new model introduction, PE is also responsible for life cycle management. We support manufacturing kaizens, tackle major facility refurbishments, and challenge ourselves to innovate using new and existing technology to improve our vehicles, the manufacturing processes, and our engineering methods. In PE, we're taking innovation into our own hands. Through a continued commitment of starting our impossible, we are engineering solutions that reach far beyond our division. By collaborating within PE, as well as with our cross-functional counterparts, we believe we are working today to create tomorrow's success stories.
Hey, Mike, can you tell them more about what group you're in? What exactly you do around here?
I'm in digital engineering, and we've been using Scrum for the past 4 years to deliver software applications for production engineering.
But what does that mean?
We build business applications to help our production engineers who are spread out all across North America do their jobs more effectively. We automate processes and try to eliminate administrative burden for our engineers so that they can focus on the value-added work that they do to make our cars better and cheaper for our end customers. What about you, Tim? What do you do here?
I'm the table leg. I'm just part of the support structure. But no, my day job is I lead the Tilt Lab, which is a really awesome part of production engineering that is focused on accelerating the adoption of new technology and pulling ahead some of the value proposition of Industry 4.0 technology elements. So, and in the Tilt Lab, or the creation of the Tilt Lab itself is an interesting story, but the main point of the story is we're focused on speeding up our business, solving the tough problems, and really practicing more business agility or leveraging business agility as the actual solution itself. And how that leads us to today's story is it really is an exercise in resilience at times and faster learning cycles for our team. So within the Tilt Lab, which resides here at our engineering headquarters in Georgetown, Kentucky, we have a number of studios, we call them. We have 3D printing in an additive studio with some of the most state-of-the-art printers around. We have a design and software studio where engineers can examine and safely review and experiment with leading edge state-of-the-art design equipment and design software for equipment. We have an electronics studio where we can build the first hardware prototypes. We have a robotics studio, mixed reality space, and of course, being engineers, we have a really amazing fabrication space so that we can really bring the hardware or the first version of the hardware to life. But the most important element of the Tilt Lab are the dozen team members that work in there every day. And over the last 4 years, bringing the Tilt Lab to life, these team members have really lived and breathed the spirit of active teamwork and quick learning cycles. And over time, they've built a lot of calluses that really led us to some success, or at least some mini successes with supporting the very unique requests through the COVID situation. And that persistence in that team, that active teamwork that exists in the Tilt Lab has brought us the medical face shield production from just a small, like crazy idea all the way into really large volume production in just a few weeks. A big element of the Tilt Lab is the bottom-up energy and proposing making the business better from the ground floor. One of our team members, Dallas, brought us an idea early in the COVID situation about 3D printing medical equipment, or supporting our customers and our communities by leveraging our 3D printers. His idea was to partner with Stratasys, a close partner, a leading edge, or a leading additive manufacturer and close business partner of Toyota. Stratasys was building a corporate coalition to leverage their fleet of 3D printers to print face shields. And so Dallas went from just an idea one day to the next day, a couple working prototypes using Stratasys design. The Tilt Lab team, of course, overcame quite a bit of friction in those first prototypes and in the first few days of the proposal itself. But since the culture is quite resilient to hearing no, and the team members continued to chip away at the resistance, and within a matter of 3 weeks went from 3D printing the first medical face shield halo, we called it, to completing the first soft tool or medium volume plastic injection mold. Typically in Toyota, this journey would take us anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks, but with the Tilt Lab team and our plastics production engineering working hand in hand day by day, they were able to collapse this entire timeline to just three working weeks. And again, this is only possible with this really resistant and resilient culture to never give up and really never fail, but check in and share the work actively is really the key part of the story here. So let's take a look at the product itself. This is what you see here is a halo, we call it. There's also an element that is the shield itself, which is built off of a laser cutter, rubber band, and of course, our team was not satisfied with the customer having a plain face shield. The team decided to put an inspirational message and is printing stickers to go along with the product as well.
Early on in the production process, there was an internal email that went out to tell the beginning of this story about this team that was starting to produce some medical equipment to help with the pandemic response. When I saw the email come out, I contacted a member of the team to ask if there was anything that a software team could do to help with this production. And I discovered that Tim's team in the Tilt Lab was just coming up on an issue, a problem that they needed to solve about how to track a growing number of orders as their production increased. So about the time that I contacted Tim, they were in the midst of scaling from a few hundred face shields per day up to in the next 2 days expecting to be in the 3,000 to 5,000 units per day range. And they didn't have a good way to track the orders that were coming into the group or to track the shipments that were going back out. So my team helped out with building a very quick and simple website that they could use to receive orders from our communications group and track those orders through to completion and shipment back to the customer. And starting out with an MVP, we were able to launch a site, a workable site for the team to start using that was just a little bit better than an Excel sheet within 48 hours, and then issued at least daily releases after that as we heard about what struggles the team was having and
Mike's being a little humble, honestly.
Came up with ways to fix it.
Our engineering team was so focused on the hardware production and the volume and the journey to get there that we were just about to go over the cliff and crash and burn, as our paper Kanban method would have totally failed us at that 10,000 unit per day volume that we were going to hit within the next few days. So Mike and his team and the ability to put together the web application that gave us end-to-end visibility all the way from order through material to production to shipping and the tracking numbers really saved the day. So,
Tim, you're also selling your team short a little bit on the effort that it took to get from that prototype phase up to the 30,000 units per day type of volume. There was quite a bit of work that happened in there that all happened, that was all done by your team. During that prototyping phase, Tim's team worked with our communications group to get input on those designs from some customers in the area so that we could iterate quickly through different face shield designs to make sure we were going to be delivering something to our customers that they could actually use. And then to increase volume, they went through several phases, including an initial attempt at volume increase by 3D printing a mold insert for an injection molding machine to try to increase capacity that way. And then while that was happening, Tim's team was also working on CNC milling and an actual metal injection mold that they ended up using for quite some time. And that was a 3 void mold that could produce 3 parts per shot. And then they were also working pretty quickly after that on creating a larger 12 void mold to increase capacity even further so that they could make 12 face shields per shot. So there was a lot of work that went into that volume scale up as well.
As we went through that process of scaling up, we ran into another problem that we were able to solve with software, and that was tracking where all of this equipment was going, so that as we needed to go back and make some changes to legal agreements or reroute shipments. We had a good system to see how many units were going out, where they were going, who they were going to. So when those requests started coming in more often, we also built a Power BI dashboard to visualize the status of all of these orders and the shipped product.
And to put some sense of scale to what Mike's saying, within the first 10 days, we were over 240,000 orders from over 20 different states. So without Mike's team's web application, we would have been underwater. Our paper Kanban would have completely collapsed. But again, what's interesting, or what we would like to share, and Mike and I are not much for cameras and really worse at trying to explain this via a video format. But frankly, Toyota is excellent at agility on the factory floor. But over the years, our carpet land and where we work in corporate roles is not often the most nimble, quite frankly. And the teamwork through the COVID response was really inspiring for us all to be play a small role in, and then leaning on the framework or the Scrum framework to actually harness that teamwork into something that produces tangible results was really awesome, and really opened our eyes to new possibilities. So
it was neat to work on a team that came together out of passion rather than any direction coming from the top down to execute this, without direction from above saying that we had to do this to meet a vehicle schedule or a business project timeline. It was just a group of passionate people who came together and just did what needed to be done to get the project done and get this equipment where it needed to go.
And harnessing that energy and with the spirit of just making it better, it was a really rewarding project. What you see here, there's a number of pictures from the field, and really customer satisfaction is something we take really a lot of pride in around here at Toyota, but rarely do we actually get to see the emotional response or the actual any sort of response from our customers. And the videos and pictures that came back from the field were just made it all worth it. So made all the hard work worth it.
In the end, we ended up shipping almost 500,000 face masks to 225 different organizations in 32 different states. Did you know that, Tim? Have you looked at the dashboard?
I haven't looked at it lately. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. 448,000 face shields.
All made possible by active teamwork in the Agile framework and Mike's team's web app. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you.